Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's opening week in the NFL, and today we have two teams who are more than ready to get the season underway. It's the Eagles going up against the Raiders. The opening kick of the new season is straight ahead as we turn it over to our broadcast duo of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, after an off-season of questions, football is back here in the East Bay at Oakland, California. Today, it's the opener of the 2017 NFL season between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Here's the punter now, Pat McAfee, to get this one started. And off we go from Oakland. Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
Cam has all the skills that you're looking for. The arm that can do everything, the ability to run, hard to bring down because of his size. But the joy that he plays the game, I think that's his stock in trade. That's his calling card. That's what sets him apart from other players.
carry for Thomas Rawls. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. They fake the give. Newton. He's got time in the pocket. Going for the deep ball. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Pass interference. Defense.
Pass interference call. Charles, you were a defender. You know how hard it is to defend the pass without committing. This penalty.
And if they would let them play with a little bit more contact and give the defender a better chance, we wouldn't have nearly as many flags.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Following the penalty, it's Rawls. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Raiders pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolded.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
They come out here in the eye. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
2nd down and 4. Shotgun now for Carr. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion.
Get that quarterback. Get off. All right, here we go. Red 18. Red 18.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And this is caught on the left side, Jerron Brown. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
They were full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab.
We ready? Red 18.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. They set up the screen for Henry. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make it 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
Second down now after the pass completion.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Key him. Key the tight end. All right, here we go. Red 18. Red 18.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And then you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
Goes underneath for Henry. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
A first down carry for Henry. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Left side and caught by Flainer. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to swing the tight end free downfield for the completion.
First down. And that is incomplete. The target that time was Vincent Jackson. And it's 2nd down.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
This will be the 9th play on this drive. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Carr. And he floats one there, incomplete. Kobe Fleener, the tight end, his intended target. And now it's 3rd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. The play clock's running down. Throwing his Carr, and he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. They brought him in off the corner, and he gets in to drop him for a loss of 4.
Well, when defensive coordinators game plan to put pressure on a quarterback, they often want to use blindside rushes, and that's exactly what they did there. The cornerback gets to him and drops him.
On 4th down, here's Pat McAfee to kick it away. And this will do the job nicely, as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
They go again with Rawls. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. Quickly now, the starting 11 for the Oakland defense.
Mark Barron entered the league as a safety, but really plays much more like a linebacker. One thing we always notice at the end of every game, his stat sheet is full.
And ready for 3rd and 6. They'll run it here. This is Antonio Andrews. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Yeah, I think the blitz there really disrupted the draw.
Yeah, and it's usually when you catch them in a blitz, the draw works pretty well. If you're the offensive coordinator right now, that's visor throwing time, isn't it? Because that's supposed to work in a big way.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. That's taken on the 25. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. We focus our attention now on the Eagles defense. And as we're going to see right here, they have been laying some pretty electrifying hits in this one.
And these are for real. Okay, as you watch, think about putting yourself in that spot, about being the ball carrier or the receiver.
I don't want to.
And then taking that shot, it is something else. It's not like when we were watching that video clip where they showed you how they make sounds for movies. This is for real.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 0-0 our score, and we're back to Oakland after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They come up in an offset eye.
We ready? Wide and 8.
Derrick Henry. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
But there's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things. Out and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Here we go. Tight right. Here we go. Red 18.
Now they'll throw with Carr. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground.
I had a coach tell me a long time ago that running a screen pass is similar to acting 101 for your offense because you've got to show something different and create extra space for linemen to chase the quarterback. in order to create extra room for the receiver to catch the football and maneuver upfield. In this case, though, give a lot of credit to the defense. They communicated well. You could hear them talking to each other on the field, and they reacted and knocked it away.
From the gun now on third down, Carr finding time. And it's complete. Henry. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion.
Well, the advantage certainly shifted to the defense as we began that third down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
Third time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on third, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
And now a first down following that long gain. Play clock winding down. They'll run it here. This is David Cobb. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. There, it'll be 2nd and 8. Second down, 8. To throw his Carr. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. This is Henry. And they'll get him down right around the 16. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at him right now and say, let's get away from him entirely. Let's start throwing the football, but I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and it actually tamps down a defense's pressure because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off with the pass rush.
So after slogging through a scoreless first quarter, we have action on the scoreboard. A field goal makes it 3-0.
Well, with these two offenses, we weren't going to stay 0-0 forever, were we? I'm not sure that this opens the floodgates, but I doubt that's the last scoring we're going to see.
Here's the punter, McAfee, to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Now a first down throw for Newton. He has Britt over the middle. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 14 there. And that leads to a Philadelphia first. And they talked about how important the passing game was going to be against that defensive look. Good job there going to the air for the first down.
It's all about preparation. It's all about planning. And then it's about execution. So they put it all together in practice. Okay, this is what we think we're going to see. This is how they get to it. And then when the game comes, read it and attack it.
First down, this is Rawls. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Off play action. Newton. He's got time. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton surveying the field. And the Raiders have got him. Rashid Hageman with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here's Sam Cook now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. Fielded just inside the 30. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Raiders will take possession. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They begin with Henry. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now Carr. Over the middle, Jerron Brown's got it. And he's brought down after a good gain.
Another block in the back. Offense. Still second down.
A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. He dumps it off for Henry. And he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. That is caught at the 7. And he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Derrick Henry, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
He's got time in the pocket. Going to Rawls on the dump-off. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. Give him 22 on that one. And the Eagles are going to have a first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On first down, Newton drops it underneath for Rawls. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Holding. Defense. The penalty is declined.
On first and 10, Newton. Harris has it over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Newton throwing again. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's third down for this offense. Third and 2, Newton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. Now hang on here, timeout called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So on now the field goal team for Philadelphia. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And McManus able to put it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So a field goal here. They're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. Great effort there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They start on the ground with Rawls. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you across the country to Orlando. Standing by there, Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Raiders are happy to be sitting in the locker room with a lead. The Eagles won't panic either. They know they just need to take it one play at a time. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Third down at the 44. They're going to come away with another sack. This will go for a loss of 7. Raiders with the ball late in the half. Henry's going to look for space, and he'll run it in from 5 yards out. That takes the lead up to 10. Staying late in the half. The kickoff return will start from the 8. He gone as he sprints to the end zone. That puts them on top by 14.
All right, Larry, these two teams back out there as we get set and ready for this second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change.
Offensively.
All right, here we go. Wide 88. Wide 88.
Now a play fake here on first down. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They come out here in the eye. Time running out here on the play clock. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll try to get the running game going with Rawls. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup. On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Deion Sims is tight end, the intended target, and it brings up fourth down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. This will be from 56 yards out. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it, and that's complete. It's Watson. Call it a pickup of 7, and on fourth down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Partner, we're watching a game on the gridiron, but a sandlot contest just broke out with that play, didn't it?
It's a little college-esque, right?
Oh, very much so. Okay, let's see if we get it right. Flip it to the kicker. He throws it. Complete. How about those guys? That was successful and fun to watch.
And gutsy. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Rawls. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
They stay on the ground. Rolls again. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
2nd down following the run. They'll try the air now with Newton. And Watson has it right side. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. He's going to get the football. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. They'll try to run with Rawls. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. On 2nd down, Rawls. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Gotta figure this is one they need here on 3rd and goal. Now Newton on 3rd and goal. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Kenny Brent from 6 yards away. And the Eagles are back within a score.
This is similar to baseball where you walk the leadoff hitter and you don't expect him to come around and score. Almost impossible. Anytime a defense has to defend a short field, you usually end up seeing the result we saw, giving up points.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And it's up through the goalposts. It's 17-10. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Henry, the lone man in the backfield. And he'll get it up the middle. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use his speed to get there in the run game.
They come up in an offset eye.
Here we go.
On second down, here's Carr. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. QB split out wide now. They're in the Wildcat. They'll let their receiver run out of the Wildcat. And the gadget package there won't do much for him. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Jamal Sheard on the stop. Great play there off the end. Question, Charles, in a 4-3, you hear about the D tackles a lot. What's the role of the ends?
What they want to do is control the edges of the defense. And you always hear about an offense talking about setting the edge in the running game. Well, the defense wants to do exactly the same thing. And the defensive end, often against an offensive tackle, sometimes a tight end, they can't let themselves get a hook and let a running back get outside. Because if they do that, that hurts the integrity of the defense overall.
My man, the encyclopedia. Right side caught by Jackson. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in the East Bay. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. Fresh set of downs here. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll come out in the pistol.
We ready? Wide and eight. Wide and eight.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
We ready? Hey, we go rally. Rally. Baby, alert, baby, alert. Alert. Set.
On second down, here's Henry. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. And this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. On play action, it's Carr. He's going to look deep down the field. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that right there is something we've seen, I don't know, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
Here's the punter, McAfee, to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 2nd down here after the incomplete pass. On 2nd and 10, Newton. Caught left side by Cobb. It's a gain of 5. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Well, they get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. Able to find Harris, complete. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the 1st down yardage there. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Newton now to throw. He was looking to get it to Kenny Britt that time. And now it's 2nd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. Akeem Hicks able to track him down for a loss of 13, and it'll bring up fourth down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And taken right at the 35. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
Again, it's Henry. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So it'll be first down here after the run. Now a handoff to Henry. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Push his way up to about the 44 here. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. Out of the Wildcat, a wide receiver carry. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now a 1st down throw for Newton. Completes it right side to Britt. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now Newton on 1st down. He has Britt over the middle. And he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Newton on 1st down. He hits his target, left side, Watson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Newton throwing again. Caught by the tight end, Watson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. On 1st down, it's Newton. Complete to Watson, the tight end. And out of bounds right around the 20. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And put a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
Offense. Still 2nd down.
Obviously a tough spot here. They need a lot of luck to win this game, but still a small chance.
They've got to make sure they get the ball to the sidelines, get out of bounds, preserve clock.
Throwing again is Newton. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up 2nd down. No, 3rd down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And this is caught down for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate. But the guys on the sidelines, they've got to stay focused. The onside kick team, they need them to get the ball back.
Yeah, part 1 of the equation done. Now they need to convert and then get that onside kick. Now McManus for the extra point. And the lead will shrink to 6. So with just under 40 seconds to go, you figure this is going to need to bounce their way if they have any shot. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Again, we'll see the pistol here. A handoff, running left, Henry. And some good. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They come out here in the eye. The pitch to Henry. And a short gain. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Here. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty. But there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in week 1. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season, we get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Black Hole celebrates. The Raiders are winners here as we say so long from Oakland.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Two running backs will take the field today in hopes of leading their team to victory. It's the Saints going up against the Vikings. With kickoff straight ahead, let's check in with the two men who will be calling tonight's game as we say hello to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, thank you very much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Twin Cities and the expansive new U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. Hello, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and partner, our long national nightmare is over. After 6 months away, we're back to playing football.
And this is way better than Watergate, isn't it? Now we get to have some fun. Watch the veterans. They'll play a little bit. We know that. But the big thing, this new crop of rookies and young guys, they get their chance to take the field and earn their spot.
Here's Blair Walsh now about ready to get us started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And led out by the rookie. Expectations high here as he's making his first NFL start. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it second down. A good, safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Ingram again, a first down carry. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
see if they stay on the ground for second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun to the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Harrison Smith is a player I love to watch. Whether he's ranging deep as a free safety or near the line of scrimmage where he makes more plays, keep your eyes on him.
Third down and 3. They'll set up to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Back to throw again. And that's incomplete. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
Really, it's a solid draft class from a year ago. They were able to address some key weak spots on their team and fill in some holes.
And they were able to identify the players they wanted early in the process. Got a little bit of luck as some guys may have fallen to them. But for the most part, knew their philosophy and stuck to it.
Touchdown, New Orleans. Their big-bodied receiver, 40 yards. And the Saints have taken the early lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Now the try here for the point after. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be taken out by the product of the University of Louisville, the talented Teddy Bridgewater.
His stature isn't huge. He's not one of the big, strong-arm guys that you see coming into the league. But his touch, decision-making, ability to make plays, that's why Teddy Bridgewater has a chance to be a top quarterback in the league.
They'll They'll run for the first time with Johnson. So a good spin move, but not a whole lot to show after as he's taken down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. The starters now on offense. And Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries. But, boy, as he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
8 yards to go here on second down.
Let's go. Wide Eddie.
Again, it's Johnson. And he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
Cameron Jordan is another one of those versatile defensive linemen who can play all up and down the front. Whether he's playing tackle or end, he knows how to make plays.
Bridgewater from the gun on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight.
Let's go, bro. Let's go.
And this is picked up by the Saints.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know. Who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Hey. Here we go.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
And they'll be in search of 11 yards here on third down. Now this time he'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football. It's always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
That's pulled in at the 32. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
That opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And that'll bring up second down. Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Good use of the pass there to pick up the first down. It gets a defensive look that they had specifically prepared for, they told us, coming into this one.
Certainly seems like they're holding all the right cards now, doesn't it? Because of their preparation.
And now the Saints are going to... take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now Johnson. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
2nd down following the run. Second down, Bridgewater. Going for it all. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He'll come out throwing here on first down. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Back to throw now on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. It's the Saints in the lead early here. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They're on. The march, but facing a third down here. Play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his right. He finds Coleman. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And a big 32-yard play on third.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Now a handoff looking right. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
On every snap, the defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
And his kick here is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go. Totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
for the shifty Dion Lewis. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense, hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So 3rd and 5, 3rd and medium here.
Watch left. Tight end to the left. Tight end left. Hurry up. Here we go. Green, 39.
Now Allen. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
And the yellow flag hurts this offense, and now they face a tough 3rd down.
Alert, alert. Here we go.
Allen. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at about the 28. Whoosh. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. Thomas, the lone receiver, left.
3-19. 3-19.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Brandon Coleman was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
On the ground. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Third down now following the run. They come up in an offset eye. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He loses 4, and it brings up 4.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And now we'll get a delay here as they try to give themselves a little more room for the punt.
Delay of game, offense. Still fourth down.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this one hits at the one, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota, and still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
We got three, fellas, we got three. Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll start things on first down with Dion Lewis. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. Try again with Lewis. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. They'll get 4 on second down, but it leaves them with third and still 9 to go.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And this defense looks for one more stop here on third after the run.
Hey, you got 3. All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
The Vikings send out their punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's taken to the 26. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why, looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead.
Let's go. Blue landed. Back out of that Philly. Here we go. Over. Set. Blue landed. Blue landed. 56 to
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back.
Yep.
He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 1:59 to go in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. See if they stay on the ground for second down. from the shotgun. He'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So completion on 2nd down, that brings up 3rd.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now back to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They come out here in the eye.
Green 39. Green 39.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. Taking it in. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Now the extra point try forthcoming. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's brought down. Give him 18 on that one. And it'll be first down, Vikings. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll look to throw now on first down. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
You know, if this is the regular season, partner, we'd be talking about just how costly a mistake that was, but probably good for him to get it out of his system right now.
Just hope for him and the team it's not a sign of things to come.
Yeah, without a doubt. Plus, you got to worry about making the team. Those types of errors don't help you.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit. Detroit.
He'll come out throwing here on first down. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again. It's complete. Fleener, right side. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll come out in the pistol. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Left side and caught by Fleener. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. And a long way to go for the offense here on 2nd down. Thomas, the lone receiver, left.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. They'll look to throw again. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Here we go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They try the corner route there, Charles, and it works to perfection.
Boy, that's hard on a defensive back because if you get any faker move to the inside, you have to respect it, and then the receiver breaks back to the sideline.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw again. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the 1st half.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
He'll start off with a give to Lewis. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Vikings are on the bad end of things at home, but we'll have 2 quarters to turn it around. The Saints have been the better team, though, and will try to maintain the lead in the second half. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Saints opening the game on offense. Here we get a quick pass and completion, and he capped off the long drive with the TD. Saints with the early advantage. Hit to late in the first. The pass will be caught over the middle, and he'll end up at the 30-yard line before being tackled. Vikings would later throw a pick on the drive. Third down from inside the 30. The catch will be made in double coverage, and the play will come to an end after a gain of 25. Saints still on the field. This run stays up the middle here, and he'll go in for a score. The Saints now up by 17. First and 10. Allen's going to complete the pass from the gun, and he'll end up picking up 18 yards on the play. A fumble would later end the drive. Offense on the field now after the fumble. Under pressure here, and the pass is picked off. Vikings defense happy to get off the field. So that'll do it for us here in Orlando. For the call of the second half, let's hand it back over to Brandon and Charles. Brandon.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. It's a gain of 24 that time, and it'll be a Minnesota first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now Lewis. And he's got room. And he's brought down. Give him 16 on the pickup, and it'll give the Vikings a first down.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
3 down, 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down. Here we go.
Again, it's Lewis. And he's brought down. A nice little juke move that preceded it, but not much thereafter.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
6 yards to go here on second down.
3 down. All right, here we go. Boom.
Now Allen sets up the screen to Lewis. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dion Lewis, 31 yards. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And it's 17-7. And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. And they had a nice little drive going last time through the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane. When they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Let's go! Detroit! Detroit!
And they'll run it here. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here we go now. Blue landing.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. 8 yards there and a first down.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
Fresh set of downs here.
Here we go now. 319.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Good luck there as a ball carrier. You get handed that football, look up, oh, there's a big D tackle ready to swallow you whole for a loss.
Yeah, you kind of count on your guys to give you at least a little bit of time, a little bit of space to try and maneuver, but not on that one. And when you have a defensive tackle who is that strong, that agile, he's a lot to deal with. Sometimes you have to double him, and sometimes you're not able to block him no matter who's trying.
Back to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. Another pistol look here. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come out here in the eye. And on the ground they go with a running back. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. They're trying to establish that running game, but they're really, really having trouble, aren't they?
Yeah, when you're running against a really good 4-3 defense, that means you've got big guys inside who control things. Those big defensive tackles are making it very difficult to find open space.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Find pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack. Although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that. And the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you face an intentional grounding call.
Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. And the play clock's running down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Allen throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Quick pass play there on the slant, Charles. Works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver to get to the football trying to cover a slant.
Second down, just 1 yard to go. Defense showing blitz. They'll come out in the pistol. This is Lewis. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now Allen. He's got time. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Four yards remaining now on 2nd down. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to have the football back as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Thomas, the lone receiver, left. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. So a ways to go here on 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is taken around the 12. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. Now the Minnesota offense set. To take over again. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Allen hit. He lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
First and goal here from the 2. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Extra point attempt to follow here. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
4 down. All right, here we go. 3,
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Going underneath for Lewis. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Action now, Barney!
Allen throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Simple slant route, and it works to perfection.
And when you're a big-bodied receiver, you use it like it's a basketball play. Body the defender away and catch the football.
Now Allen sets up the screen to Lewis. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
Back to throw again. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. It'll be a gain of 24 on the play. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. And that's what you've got your tough little slot receiver for, isn't it? Right there, those 4th down conversions in the middle of the field.
He knows that's where he has to make his living, and that's where he has to make plays to help his team. And no one is asking him to do anything more or less than do exactly what we saw there.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Now they'll run with Lewis. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Minnesota defense, we watch them get set to roll. And with this deficit, let's be honest, it's time for them to get a stop.
And partners, you understand very well from our time together and visiting with coaches, defensive coordinators tend to be a little more emotional, a little more high-strung than others.
They are.
I have a feeling that speech came out about taking a stand and bowing up in this possession.
Yeah, that's where this word pride comes out, right?
In a big way.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. They come up in an offset eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. No. Check. Patriot. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will have the 1st down as he's up to his 17-yard line. And a new set of downs here after picking up the 1st on the ground. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, Hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Nine yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down.
Four down. Here we go. What? 90.
And that formation won't yield much here as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
Delay of game, offense. Still 3rd down.
So 3rd and 15 and an extra defensive back in the game now.
Flooding the passing lanes.
And he'll cut it to the right sideline. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Saints add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And the lead is now 24. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. to the air here after the INT. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Come on. Here we go now. 3-19.
Now back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Minneapolis, good night, everybody.